old phones. So, phones have been around for a while. I mean, this is actually pretty late, you know. This guy was out like early 90s to 2000s. I don't know, it's my mom's phone. But here we go. A Motorola V70. No, it does not work. Anyway, so the evolution of smartphones was really the big chungus brick ones, which I don't have, to these small candy bar phones, which I have this one of, then to the QWERTY keyboards, which I don't have, and then to the big full screen touch screen smartphone, which I actually do have one of. You know, everyone got on board. I have the ancient Samsung phone from around the same time this was released. This was released 2009. It's an iPhone 3GS. This was also released 2009. It's a Samsung S8003 or something. I don't know. But this is also around the time that the first Galaxy S was released, which I have an older version here of. This one was released during 2013 to 2014, which was around when phones across the board started to get bigger. I mean, just look at that size difference. Oh my god. Compare that to the candy bars. I mean, look how cute this looks. And then, you know, it went to this, the full screen. Oh, my phone is glitching there. It went to the full screen, full touch screen thing where everything's a screen. I can't put my finger anywhere when watching content like you can on this because everywhere's a screen. But I do like these phones. These are better than these. I'll do anything to get that big screen. I don't want to use one of these. You know what the topic's about. We got a Samsung phone from 2013 to 14. We have an iPhone from 2013 to 14. Sorry if the timing's incorrect. And we have a Samsung phone from 2009 and an iPhone from 2009. So what are we going to do? We're going to compare them. Alright, let's start. 15 years ago, these were all the rage. I mean, HTC had joined by then, but this was when the iPhone really started to catch on. And, as you can see from all the... Okay, we'll just zoom in on it. It's a Chinese iPhone 3GS. Yep, this was made in China. And that's why it actually doesn't have wireless internet connection. I mean, it has cellular, like all things it's cellular, but you can see there's no Wi-Fi. Yeah, so I actually can't connect to the internet nowadays because, you know, Australia is shutting down its 3G networks in 2024, which is a real bummer for me. But it still syncs up with the MacBook, and it still can take all this music. It can still take all of the videos, whatever's, and it still has a headphone jack, which makes it better than the current iPhones. Yeah. And anyway, it's got a camera. Fun fact, this is the first iPhone to be able to record video. Yeah, 3-megapixel camera. And do you know why it's able to record video? Because of Samsung's chipsets. Yep. Samsung was making the iPhone chips around that time, and boy, they put a powerhouse into this 3GS. This was the first iPhone that could realistically multitask. You had this thing at the bottom that you could scroll through to see what you're doing, and it's the first iPhone to be able to have a wallpaper on the home screen. Previous iPhones just had a wallpaper on the lock screen, you know, not bad. And this guy's stuck on iOS 6, yep. And it still does all the Bluetooth things, like headphones, they'll connect to the iPhone, and they sound okay, they're not too good. And the notes, the notes page, and it still types okay, but one thing is it's all capital letters on the keyboard. satisfying. Anyway, everything had this really like realistic 3D feel to it. Look at all the detail on the icons. And the camera app. So many like real reflections, shadows. Everything's got its own like bubble kind of popping out effect. Everything looks really real and really reflective. If you go to music and look at this. Look at this spinny thing. It's like a metal texture to it. It's so cool. And you know, everything's got its own kind of it's just so good. I love old iOS. I don't like what they did with the new ones. Just, yeah, look at that. Flat. And Apple's actually going back. On the new MacBooks, it's all 3D. It's always been 3D on the MacBooks, but it's still there. The 3D stuff is still there. And they're going back to skeuomorphism, maybe. Another thing was this guy had a 30-pin connector. I don't like your iPhone camera. Anyway, so it had a 30-pin connector. It was one of the last iPhones to have a 30-pin. After the 4S, it would all be the Lightning connector, which we've only managed to get rid of very recently. Kind of a bummer. Fun fact, the phone I'm filming on, which is my mum's iPhone 14 Pro, it's the last... Not really. Second last lightning cabled iPhone. So the next thing I want to talk about is it's plastic. It's one of... Let me count. So you have the 3G, 3GS. Oh yeah, the iPhone 5C. So it's one of 3 iPhones to be made entirely... Well, not entirely, but to have it back mostly made out of plastic. Which, you know... Samsung was doing it at the time, and they were still doing it way into 2013. Like, you know, plastic's not a bad material. It's just there's different types of plastic. And, you know, the 5C one, that plastic, polycarbonate, such a good plastic, but this one is starting to show cracks. I hate this camera. It's so hard to focus. Hold on. Turns out I have to film with the ultra-wide camera so I can get the macro shots to actually work. So you can see the reflection of my iPhone there in the phone. You know, glossy reflective plastic, it's not bad. But the one on the 5C was really, really nice polycarbonate. I don't think they used as good of a plastic on this one. But to be fair, this phone is like 15-something years old. But this is also 15 years old. And there's like not a single scratch on it. How have you survived this long? Right, enough of the iPhone. Let's take a look at the Samsung. Oh, so phone lock. Right, there we go. And, you know, home screen, it's a little bit different. The screen is a little bit smaller. But the colors look amazing. I think they were using OLEDs for these. And... yeah, the colors are really good. I haven't been able to get this thing on the internet. These two both do 3G, but this thing has Wi-Fi because it was made, you know, not at China at the time. So, it has all the things you need. The haptics are really aggressive on this. I think there's a way to change that. And Apple, you know, iPhone 16, we put a new button on it. Camera control. Well, look, Samsung did it. So many people did it. You're like the last one to do this. And look, it has multiple layers too. Look, I can turn the flash on. That's so cool. And there's another button over here. I don't know what that does. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna make it go away. But yeah, if I plug a headphone into it, it should be able to play the radio. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, I got the cheapest headphones I could find. The stupid Kensington ones, so cheap. There we go. And then, I think there's a headphone jack on the top. Alright. Come on. Okay. Okay. Come on. Alright, so headset. Oh, you can hear them. Sounds really bad, but hold on, let me go to the radio, see if I can change the sound output.
Stress! Exactly. Hey, enjoy spending that
There we go.
cash. I've got another chance in 7 songs' time for you to get in the draw.
It does radio. You know, the iPhone doesn't do that. Modern iPhones can't do that without an external app. And you know, it's been a thing on all Samsung phones. They all seem to have a radio. If I get into this thing, it should work too. There's a really aggressive vibration from it. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea what that was. So the battery in this thing, there's no other way of saying it. It has expanded, and oh, okay. And I rather stupidly decided to puncture it. Yeah, that was me, and I've learnt my lesson. Do not ever do this to a battery. If a battery ends up inflating, please dispose of it safely. I can't encourage that enough. Inflated batteries are so dangerous. I don't think I need to be telling you guys that. But here you have a SIM and the micro SD. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and you can see all the information about it. Just put the plastic case back on. Alright, there we go. So, between these two, there is one I definitely prefer. While the old iOS is cool and everything, the China mainland thing, it's just kind of annoying. Like, I can't use this now except as a kind of glorified iPod. Oh, it's very low on battery. Close that then. Because this has, you know, very good touchscreen. The touchscreen is amazing, but it doesn't have internet. It does still have a game on it. I don't know if this still works.